And we do have a website showcase today. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it Lois or Luis? Let me unmute your microphone here. How you doing today?
I'm good. It's Louise.
Luis, all right. And where are you calling in from?
Beachburg, Ontario.
Okay, well, we definitely love Canada here at Brilliant Directories, so thanks for joining us. And your
Thank
site is bookkeepersdirectory.com.
Yes, it is.
And are you a bookkeeper yourself?
Yes, I am. I've been a bookkeeper for a number of years, and this year I decided I needed to scale things up a bit. So I had connected with other bookkeepers for ideas, and through these connections, I found out about a lot of amazing industry-specific tools and resources, but they were hard to find online with doing searches and that. It was just word of mouth. So I thought this is a perfect opportunity for a directory is to get them all in one location and also give a place for bookkeepers to promote themselves as well.
All right, I'm going to open up my notepad here. So you brought up a few interesting points here. So you want to create a resource where bookkeepers uh, can find tools and training and things like that, right?
Yes. Yes.
And then, as we always talk about different audiences, then you'd also like, business owners to be able to find bookkeepers on this directory.
Yes. Originally, it was just going to be a bookkeeper's directory, but I found it was really difficult to locate tools and resources for bookkeepers. So I thought the two would go hand in hand.
Okay, well, you're first of all, you're on a really good track here. Just quickly looking at the site, it looks like you are in the beginning stages of kind of setting this up here, which is perfectly fine. But it's good that we're on the call here. So when Matt and I, he's on the call here too. When we were creating our first directory about a decade ago or so, it was a directory for interior designers. And what we learned is rather than only being a directory for interior designers, and consumers can find designers, one method for acquiring designers that wanted to be members on the site is providing for them resources that help them be better at their business. So it's a great way to attract the talent, the professional members to your site. And the phrase we used is that your website can become, and I don't want to spell bacon here. I don't know if there's a beacon of information and value for the professionals.
Yes.
Um, and so what you have these tools and resources that are going to help bookkeepers be better bookkeepers, more efficient bookkeepers. And you said they're hard to find, and you're trying to put them all in one place. So that's fantastic. Fantastic.
Exactly. I was surprised at how many tools and coaches there were out there for this industry. And like I said, they're very difficult to find online.
All right. So you're curating again these tools and making them readily available for the professional. So there's definitely value there. And again, that allows you to become a beacon of information in the industry. It also allows you to gain some authority because through the value you're providing. Um,
Yes.
Now, also looking at this site, we always, when we're doing kind of the website reviews, we always want to make sure that although you're catering to both audiences, for example, you're trying to get the bookkeeper's attention, but you also want people who are looking for bookkeeper's attention. You don't want to commingle those things. You kind of want to keep them separate. Because
Okay.
it dilutes the focus of the site. It kind of confuses people when they come to the site. They don't know what the core focus is of the site. And as David mentioned in the beginning of this webinar, when we're talking about the proof of concept, which is, I guess, what I would recommend everyone, including yourself, watch that video from the directory gurus and see exactly what they're talking about, proof of concept, and also which audience that we want to go after first, because your site's going to have multiple audiences. And when we're just starting out, we have to choose one, and then we can branch off once we're doing a good job with acquisition of the first type of audience. So for me, what I'm seeing here is it would be easy to just create a bookkeeper's directory, but there really isn't too much incentive for bookkeepers to start joining your site because, well, you can tell them, oh, promote your business, get more online visibility, and that's pretty much it. You don't really have anything tangible that they could benefit from. And
Mhm.
that's where the resources come in to get the bookkeepers, for the bookkeepers to get access to the resource. So what I'm also thinking, and again, this is just a stream of consciousness as I'm talking, is I think it would warrant to get access to these resources that the bookkeepers at least need to register a free account on your site to unlock access to the tools and resources.
Okay.
Um, does that kind of make sense at all?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering which angle to take because I wasn't sure whether to focus on bookkeepers or the resources. Um, but yeah, that does make sense.
Going into this kind of plan that you put together, I'm with you in that I think it would be best to gear the front end of the website towards the customer, the business owner who's looking for a bookkeeper. Since ultimately this is a bookkeeper's directory, it's going to be the business owners who are looking for bookkeepers. So some of like the public articles on the site that you may want are how to find a good bookkeeper, what makes a good bookkeeper, how can you trust the bookkeeper with your financial information, articles like that. And then kind of on the back end, you can incentivize bookkeepers to register on your site by telling them that you'll provide them with these additional resources to help them with their bookkeeping business. But you can make all those pages private and only accessible to the bookkeeping members. And then you could like link to those resources or those pages in their member dashboard or something like that.
Okay.
That way it keeps the whole front end of your site very clean and simple for the business owner, the customer to navigate. And then also it segments the two audiences pretty neatly, I think.
Yeah, that would for sure.
And I was checking out some websites, not necessarily identical to yours. I was looking at, for example, Lending Tree, and I was also looking at, I think it was H&R Block because they're tax specialists, right? I wasn't necessarily looking for bookkeeper directories, but I was looking at what's the process they're using to kind of get, because it's about the businesses that need to connect with these services. Um,
Right.
so what I felt is, and it's not necessarily an app, but it's very like the options for the user are very simple here. You come to, this is the H&R Block website. You basically have a couple options to start filing with a tax pro or file online, and then there's some supportive text about why you should use the services. Say hello to better bookkeepers, you could say, right? It's just supportive text, but the actions are the same. See, as I scroll down the page, I'm just presented with two options. When I went to, for example, Lending Tree, and again, if he has that like app-like feel, because all the user is doing is pressing buttons to continue the process. I guess that's what it is just creating a system where until the user is actually putting in their name and email address, they're just pushing buttons, attractive buttons, to get to the different sections of the site that are going to help them achieve some goal at the end of the rainbow there. So this is Lending Trees here. They're kind of asking you like, what do you want to do exactly? I'm looking for credit cards, insurance, and so forth. So when we come back to your site, and again, because you're in the beginning stages, you really don't have many places to direct potential website visitors to. And David and I were actually chatting, and we thought, and we've used this before, is maybe using the style that we use on the classified ads theme, which we use this on lots of different concepts when we talk about sites, is basically the two buttons on the home page. because what we're trying to do is funnel the website visitor down a path to success. So whether we want them to find a bookkeeper or list their bookkeeping services, those are basically two paths we want a website visitor to go down. So as we were looking at your site, and again, because it's in the beginning stages, we thought that a 2 buttons on the homepage would probably be a little bit more value than having people search, because right now, you don't really have too many options. You're just kind of testing around and figuring out, what direction you're going to do for customer acquisition and things like that.
Right.
So if you wanted to, we could do. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but what I'd like to do is just kind of put some of the building blocks in place to kind of it's more conceptual, so you can start thinking about your site in this type of format, and it'll give you some direction to move forward in, and hopefully it'll crystallize more ideas for you as well.
That's great.
If you don't mind, I can kind of just dive right in here and make a few changes.
Yeah, go for it, please.
Okay. And David, if please, and Rick, if you guys have some ideas, just shout them out. I'm going to do just some quick things here, and we can see where this will take us. So Dave, you're recommending to still keep the homepage of the site focused on the company, right? Looking for bookkeepers services.
Right. So like the tools and the resources menu links probably wouldn't be best, because that might confuse those business owners.
Okay.
Since ultimately those resources wouldn't be for them. Got
you. We can have like one button or one call to action for the bookkeepers, the professionals, but everything else geared towards the we'll call them the consumer, right. the person looking for the professional. All right. Let's do this. I'm just going to start with getting the 2 buttons on there. So that's going to be in the design settings here. And it's always fun to kind of go down this path here. And that lagged a little bit, but that's okay. So we're going to go to the design settings homepage layout. I'm going to work it just a little bit quickly just for the sake of time here. And we'll scroll down, and we're not going to use a search. We're going to use the hero message with link. And those 2 buttons, we're lucky because we have a quick link where you can kind of copy the code for those 2 buttons, and there's takes you to our support center with some screenshots. So I'll just copy the code here. And do you have a slogan?
Not yet.
Okay.
Any ideas?
Yeah. It's good that. So who's looking for bookkeepers? Businesses or companies or individuals? Who's that target audience?
Usually businesses and companies.
Okay. And what's a problem they might be facing where they need to look for a new bookkeeper right now?
Overwhelm. A lot of small businesses that try to do it themselves for too long, and they're busy with their own business, so they tend to fall sometimes several months behind, even years behind.
I got a buddy, and I don't know why, but something about his business, he has a lot of turnover with bookkeepers, but when he doesn't have one, he's not as productive because he's having to send out the accounts receivables and payables and balancing all the all the numbers at the end of the day, when he's basically needs to do sales himself. So it sounds like get the help you need.
Yes.
From like trusted bookkeepers, right?
Yes.
You good with that, Dave?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right. Now, what we're doing here is, and this is a strategy, is, and I always see this, you don't want to have a title, and again, I know that you're in the beginning stages of your site, but you don't want to have a title where it's just like find bookkeepers. You want to, if you're going to really connect, you need to strike an emotional chord with a potential audience. So this goes to strategy, guys. Find a way to make an emotional connection with the problem your potential customer, or the person who's going to use your site, might be facing. So I was asking questions like, why would a bookkeeper want to use? I mean, a business want to use this site? And look how emotional we got here. So they're overwhelmed. They don't want to do it themselves, so time is a problem. So obviously that comes down to kind of getting the help you need. So the more you can strike on an emotional chord, the more the audience will know that you understand their pain and they're in the right place to find help and a solution.
You know what, Jason? Actually, playing off of that with the slogan of the website, instead of getting the help you need, how about save money with trusted bookkeepers? Ultimately, the last thing you want is for bookkeepers to cost your business money. And some businesses who are looking for bookkeepers, maybe they're looking because they have one who's not doing their job too well.
Got you. So there you go. We can. No, that's a great suggestion. So we can continue with figuring out what the right combination of emotional words are. So I just added work smarter and save money with trusted bookkeepers. So this is H&R Block, and they're saying filing feels better with upfront pricing. So they're promoting convenience. No surprise, just tax prep the way it should be. So they're really making you feel like this process is simple and it's going to be affordable at the same time. So that's generally the pain point for most people when they're doing their taxes, obviously. So let's do this. Let's add the main title, and we'll do the two buttons. We'll do like find bookkeepers. And then the second one would be bookkeepers, kind of like list your services in a way. Let me just quickly save this and see where we're at. And I'll keep the old site open so we can do like a before and after situation. So you can even continue using this woman here. She's obviously wearing like corporate professional attire. She could potentially be a bookkeeper. Let me just make this a little nicer with the colors. And we'll do a few other modifications and we'll be well on our way. Let me just open this up here.
So Jason, I was going to mention don't forget to include the Google Analytics so you can start tracking how your website is doing. On the initial stages of your website, it's super important to set this up. You don't want to forget later on and waste all that time. So definitely keep that in mind.
Yes. Have you set up Google Analytics on the site by chance?
Yes.
Okay, good. It's always good to do those basic things nice and early. All right. I'm going to add some more padding here at the bottom and at the top. And I'm just going to go wild here. I'm going to increase the font size to 60 just as a dramatic effect. All right, let's see what this looks like. Oops. There we go. And then we have this here. We can kind of get rid of the subheading here. Don't need it too much. And again, we can work on finding the right word combinations. It's implied that it's for bookkeepers. I would recommend adding the word bookkeepers back or something like that, but I'm just going to say list your services just so we can have the effect of the two funnels that we want to drive people down, and just so we get the buttons here on a nice line. So work smarter and save money with trusted bookkeepers. This is just something fun I'd like to do, is maybe get trusted bookkeepers on one line. I'm just going to add a line break there. And another thing I'd like to do is just the style now. Sometimes instead of using these rounded corners, it's like fashion. It's in one year, it's out one year, it's out the other. I'm going to just make these square corners rather than rounded corners. It'll add a little bit more of a sharp feel to the site as well. So that's going to be under design settings, and then it's over here in the additional settings. We'll go with square corners. And are you attached to the color scheme that you've selected?
No,
Okay.
no, not necessarily.
Okay. And this is the logo maker that you created with this, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's change. Let's just use another pre-made color set to start. Obviously, you can modify this further. These are just great starting points to get some types of colors on your site. Let's go with this one here. It's called Smart Consumer. Just nice primary colors. And we'll refresh the page here. Just give it a second. All right. And let's do your logo, and then I'm going to dive into your main menu here. And then up here, this section as well. All right, so let's go to your logo. And let's just refresh this page. I had 2 tabs open. Your site is bookkeepersdirectory.com. Let's add the icon here. Let's do a leaf, actually. Again, you're probably going to get a professional logo made at some point. And we can go a little smaller here. Here's a small tip for people. If you do these small brackets, small, you can do the .com. It makes it a little smaller. It's more of a stylistic thing. And what do you think a good slogan would be, David or Rick, for something a little different than what we put on the main page? Just keep it simple. Save money with top-rated bookkeepers.
Yeah, I was just going to say something along the lines of the wording that you are, like the words that you want to rank for. Keep that in mind. Like you can use this also geared towards like the SEO if you have a specific campaign, some keywords that you maybe want to rank for, stuff like that.
Yep, these are until you upload like an image logo. I think we covered this in another webinar. This is a great way to add keywords that you're looking to rank for. All right, so see this .com is actually a little smaller than the other text. It's hard to see though. Save money with top-rated bookkeepers. Let's also do one more thing. Let's change the background of this green to another color, because the green on green is hard to see this button here. So let's just change that. It's a homepage section order. Search background. Let's just go with more of a black color. Like there, a little opacity. There it goes. There it go. Let's refresh. Oh, I didn't select it. How about? There we go. Doesn't want to take that darker color. There we go. All right. All right. Now let's work on your main menu. Now the thing about the main menu is, just like these 2 buttons, we do want to keep it relatively simple. The advertise with us, are you ready to start taking advertisers right now, Lois?
No,
Okay.
not yet. No.
All right. So let's kind of eliminate some things that we don't need off the bat. Because also understand, the more main menu links you add, inherently you're adding more pressure on yourself to kind of build out those pages, get the forms working, and there's every section you add to your site, it's just more work and more things to manage. So the more we can edit out and stick to the foundational proof of concept elements, the easier it's going to be to get this off the ground and get users, and then get that very valuable feedback, so we can then make decisions on maybe people are asking that they want to advertise. We can build out that section. So I'll go ahead and go to the main menu here. And it looks like this was from the demo site that got copied over. I'll just kind of delete these links here. Not using those pages. Oops, don't want to clone that. All right, advertise with us is gone. I'm going to get rid of these. I'm going to create one link that says tools for bookkeepers. And we're going to do something clever. The tools for bookkeepers link is actually going to link to the sign up page where they have to sign up to get access to the tools. You could create a little landing page and says, hey, don't miss out on these important tools. By also registering, we'll also feature your business in our bookkeeper directory. So now you're just giving them super value just for that, the free sign up registration. Again, because that will help you more rapidly acquire customers. And if anyone watches Shark Tank, customer acquisition cost is what makes or breaks most businesses. And we're also going to, do you watch Shark Tank by any chance?
Oh, yes.
Okay, yeah, lots of fun. So tools for bookkeepers. And I'm just going to do a little style thing here. It's, I think I can do button danger. These are just the different button classes that we have that are part of your theme. And let me save this. And
You can fix spelling on bookkeepers?
yeah. Put 2 Ks, right? Okay. And with that, what we can do is just remove the join us link. And again, just keep this in mind, guys. Who are you asking to join your site? Are you asking the general consumer? Like, you really need a deliberate and call to action. You got to know who you're speaking to. So just saying join us really doesn't mention who you're talking to. So if a consumer goes to the membership plan page for bookkeepers, they're going to get confused potentially and think that they're on a site that's only for bookkeepers. So just kind of be aware of the terminology you're using. So resources, those are going to be the ones for the bookkeeper. So I'm just going to kind of delete that as well. Now here's what you can have is you could have a bookkeeper. I like this phrase, like pro match service. Bookkeeper pro, and then you could do like bookkeeper directory. And this would go to your get matched page. And this can go to, could go to your categories page. We're going to talk about your categories next, and then we'll look at like the before and after. So let's refresh this. Okay, so if you notice here now, I have this in red, the tools for bookkeepers, bookkeeper, a pro match service, and a bookkeeper directory. So you got just a few main menu links here. You really could also get rid of the home link because it's normally implied that the logo takes you to the home page. And you could even have a page like you could do the how it works and go to your about page. Now, I would recommend kind of building out these pages a bit more. All right, and that should fill up your main menu a bit here.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Just going to say bookkeeper matching service. All right, so with that said, I'm not ready to do the before and after just yet. So find a bookkeeper. So this is going to go to your get match page. We do have I'm going to share the link to create a better landing page here. It's in our documentation center. I'm just going to Google page. Here you go. Lead magnet page. So it's going to allow you to kind of create a page like this. This wasn't the exact one I was thinking of, but I'm going to share this link nonetheless. It's going to allow you to just kind of create these like tools. This would be great, the one for tools for bookkeepers, and you create a page that looks like this. I think it's actually a page that looks like this. Scroll down. That was the thank you page. So, it's a form, or it could be just benefits and links to the sign up page, but it's basically a way to create a landing page that gets people excited about the service, and then you take them to the registration page or the one action that you want them to do, and that's going to help with rapid customer acquisition or member acquisition. I'm just going to put this in the chat here. You can read these articles. And we also have, if you search our Brilliant Directories blog, just search for like lead magnet or landing page. You'll find more articles on how to kind of spruce up some of these the pages so they're just a little more attractive. So bookkeeper matching service, bookkeeper directory. So what I'm doing is I'm linking to your categories page, bookkeepers by category. And you have some good categories here. What I did notice, the webinars and the resources for bookkeepers, you set up the categories as if they were going to be members. These would probably be better as premium posts that only registered bookkeepers membership levels would have access to. And for that, you want to use our the members only content add-on. And there's a video on this page, so I'm going to also share this. If you watch the video, you'll understand how you can set up the resource pages like the webinars or whatever tools that are only for the bookkeepers, and just limit that content using the members only add-on. And the video is right here on the side. You could just click it. But I'm going to share this link here in the chat. And so what you can then do further is just really have, and you don't need a lot. I also like to make this page full width. I'll go ahead and do that for you. It's just a personal preference. Sorry, no sidebar is what I want to do actually. It's a little bit nicer when you come to this page. And also let's disable banner ads for now. But I do want to say banner ads are great. Imagine if it was a link of the banner ad to your matching service page. So then you have, your banner ad assets kind of working for you internally. It's not about selling ad space just yet.
Okay.
And again, you just have to create the graphics for those, and you would upload them here in the banner ad design section. But just for now, again, we're in the early stages. We'll just turn off all the banner ads on your site for now. So we have a bookkeeper directory. This makes sense to me, like cloud bookkeepers, QuickBooks professionals. I can see how a business would know what they need with this. So let's keep it that. How it works, this is just the standard how it works page, but I would recommend trying to make something awesome using like nice graphics and images and things like that. And just like Sherilyn was adding images to that website signature, you can do the same. It's a similar editor for these pages. It doesn't get too complicated. It's pretty simple. But if you're using good text, some maybe using big font for like the title font, and uploading images accordingly, the professionalism of the page should take care of itself. You don't really need to do anything too fancy. And then tools for bookkeepers. Right now this is going to the sign up page. What I would recommend doing, and I know Patrick is an advocate for this too, is get them to register for free. And after they register, that's when the sales process, as far as getting them on a paid membership level, starts. So get them to register for free, give them the access. In the welcome email that you can edit, tell them all the other ways that they can promote their services on your website. But at least you've got them registered for free. You're eliminating the hurdles, and maybe set yourself a goal, like maybe after 100 signups, then offer a paid option is like a spotlight or a featured option that gives those paying members more visibility on your site. So would it be okay with you if just for now we limited this down to one option?
No, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay. And again, it's just to get your foot in the door. Once they register, you can then send them all sorts of materials and media kits on how they can kind of get more involved in the community. You could reward them for writing articles like tips, like bookkeeping tips, and have them be the content writers for you eventually. So let's go to your toolbox and menu manager and pricing page menu. All right, so I'm just gonna delete these. It's asked me if all sublevels too. Those are all like this is like the parent, and these are like the children in here. So we're just gonna delete all of that. And now is the most important part. Now is the most important part because, again, I recommend making a more official landing page that really sells them on registering. But for now, we can use this one sign-up form. So just to keep things simple, now all we have to do is write supportive text that's going to want to motivate a bookkeeper to go ahead and create or join your site, right?
Yeah.
So let's start with the title text here. This is a place we also want to make an emotional connection. Like, it would be a good place to say, like, want to give yourself an edge, or looking for ways to be a more efficient bookkeeper. Access hundreds of bookkeeper tools and resources. Do you know what puffery is? It's a legal term.
No.
Okay, it's like saying, like, we have the best ice cream in the world. Like, there's no way to like qualify that. It's just called puffery. So you can see, like, join the fastest growing bookkeeper community. That's fine. All right, let's just see what that looks like. So again, this is just conceptual. You can obviously go in and change it. And the idea here is to give them more. It's not just list your business, right? It has to be something more than just list your services, list your business, because there's 1,001, there's 1,000,001 websites where a business can put their name, phone number, and link to their website. So in order for your membership community to stand out, it needs to be a membership community. It needs to have a mission. It needs to have something it stands for besides giving you a name and a phone number and a link to your website, per se. So the next thing is the name of the free account that we want to offer to bookkeepers. It doesn't have to be anything too fancy. Let's go back to the toolbox, the menu manager, and the pricing page. And you could do things like honorary member, right? Honorary member. So or give it something more value than, basic and platinum and silver and gold. Those work fine, I think, more when you're established. But when you're first starting out, you kind of want to find a way to label your membership levels with things that are going to resonate with them. And we see this a lot with nonprofits. We have angel investors, diamond investors, even with credit card points, right? What you want to do is kind of make them feel like they're getting more than, again, just like a basic listing.
Okay.
Let's see if we just, by calling this honorary member, and again, I just came up with that in my head. So we can actually do even more. Let me increase the width of this just from 4. Become an honorary member. Let's just see what that looks like. It's more of a statement, like, because now it's a call to action here. So now we got a little more width here. And again, this is all conceptual, but it's just to give you a little bit of direction. So now here we can list what they're going to get, right? And based on what you said at the beginning of this conversation is you're really keen on providing resources. So some of those resources are bookkeeper software. Obviously, you're going to be just recommending software lists, right?
Efficiency softwares, accounting software.
Okay, so those would be the business, but they would be get access to. Okay, let's do exclusive software lists, right?
Yes.
And then what is the training? Can you tell me a little bit more about this training?
There's various training webinars on efficiency systems, on accounting software, on industry-specific books, for example, like specific to contractors or specific to realtors, that sort of thing.
Okay, so premium bookkeeper, we'll call them just premium training webinars. Okay, so I'm not going to go down the whole list, but what I want to do here, my goal is it's not just about third in search results and list in one category and the ability to upload your logo and your profile photo. You know, those are kind of okay. What you the benefits that you want to, those are more settings. What you want to show on your pricing pages are the benefits and the features of joining. And the features, I don't mean listing, upload your profile photo, upload your logo, upload your phone number, upload coupons, upload deals, this and that. We want to touch on as many emotional chords as possible. We want to get them excited about the access that they're about to receive. So I'm just going to put a few of these here. And excuse the spelling, you know, I'm just kind of doing this a little quick. You know, we don't want to use X's here. We want to fill them up all the way.
Okay.
Because we're not comparing plans. There shouldn't be anything.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So let me just, so again, I can't come up with all of them now, and you can even reduce them. Maybe just have 5 or 6. Actually, let's do that. Let's remove half of them. You know, if someone's just signing up for the free benefit, they just need 5 or 6 reasons to join for free. They don't need 20. In fact, 20 might confuse them. When someone's on a sign-up page, you want to try to minimize doubt and decision-making time. And part of that is just having shorter and simpler sign-up forms. So look, if you could just come up with maybe 2 or 3 more, just fill these in here. I think it'll be a home run. And again, you can change the supportive text. So now become a member. We just have to, just because we changed it there, we actually have to just change this here. So let's change the name of the basic plan to, we'll just stick with the theme of honorary member right now. Because that's on the sign up page, we actually have to change the basic level here. I'll just keep it as honorary bookkeeper member and save the changes. And something interesting I'm going to do here. A lot of people say, how do I change this create profile here, right? Let me show you how you do that. So a couple things. You can go here to your content and go to SEO templates. Template is something that's used over and over again. So your sign up pages are used over and over again. The only thing that changes is the membership level you're signing up to. So that qualifies it as an SEO template. In this case, we want to go down to your checkout page, last one here, and we're going to edit this. And here is your title, create. It's using a variable called listing and then the name of the subscription. So we're going to just change this to member registration. All right, because that's really what it is member registration. And if we refresh this page, oh, I didn't save the basic level. Did I? I don't think I saved that basic level. Let's go back. Oh, I did. Oh, that was a different basic level you have. You had two with the same names. Okay. Let's change this. So honorary bookkeeper. All right, so now member registration, honorary bookkeeper. Now let's do something, one more fun thing here. If you recall, and I'm just clicking around, I have a lot of tabs open. Remember I used those small brackets for your .com?
Yes.
Here's another fun place you can use that, is for member registration. And put it here. Just to close it, you just add a / there, and that kind of closes that. And now if we refresh this, it's a little more styling here. Member registration, honorary bookkeeper. So now people are going to come and register. Let's change this. Now we know. Let's change this to tools for bookkeepers, and then we're going to wrap it up here soon. So we'll go to design settings, and we know we're going to send them to this page, the join page. Okay, here's the buttons. And insert link. This is like the most coding we've done here is in this section, but that article here, the button example code, kind of explains what all this stuff is. So hopefully it's not too intimidating. And we'll send the other one to the categories page, again, just tentatively for now. And we'll go ahead and I want this to be danger as well. So 2 red buttons, and we'll save the changes. All right, so I mean, I can go into like this section up here also, but just for the sake of time, I'll just pause there. So I hope this, I know I kind of took over here, but I hope this gives you a little bit more direction, but more importantly, simplifies some things for you.
Yeah, it does. It's mostly the direction. I was kind of confused as far as which direction to take with it, whether to go to resources or bookkeepers or, but yeah, I like the way it looks there now. And
so now,
this makes sense.
Really what the only real challenge is these few pages that we're keeping, you just have to make them look awesome. So maybe, again, it looks like this is like your first project with Brilliant Directories. We do have documentation to create nice landing pages. You know, if you just put a little bit of time into just these few pages and making sure everything is a nice flow. And I like how you already started putting things on the home page. You definitely got the right direction, but I think where we want people to go is a little clearer now. I think we could look at the original site as we were here. And now, again, we can even play with the colors more and things like that. But we've definitely simplified some of the things that are here.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, it looks good.
All right. It did go a little longer than I wanted to, but I just wanted to make sure it was kind of thorough for you. So I really appreciate you sharing your site with us here today.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate your help.
All right. Our pleasure. Thank you. All right, guys. So yeah, just lesson here is try to keep things simple. You know, I really didn't do anything complicated with coding and things like that. Just those 2 buttons there. And if I just had more time, we could really just make this look like, just with the colors, is making it look like $1 million website almost. And you know, her task now is very simple. It's just the few pages that we're going to keep is making sure they're awesome, using high quality images, really good and smart supportive text. We always want to strike an emotional chord with our potential members, and it should be genuine. You should have a genuine mission to want to help both the visitors of your site and the professional members that are trying to list their services in your site. So I hope we all learned a little bit here with this really nice example. And again, thank you, Lois, for sharing your site with us here. You have a great domain name, Bookkeepers Directory. It's just going to be a matter of time before Google picks all that up.
Yeah, and going real quick back to Patrick and Bruce's first part in their Directory Gurus thing. If y'all noticed, once you first have that target audience figured out, it really makes the whole website design process a lot easier. Once you know who you're speaking to, you can get the correct pages up, the correct text up, all that stuff, everything kind of starts to fall into place once you have that initial target audience figured out.
And part of that is just having a conversation with yourself. You saw those few questions that we were asking in the beginning, David. It just answering a few honest questions to yourself can really help guide you in what the fundamental building blocks of your site should be that you should include in your initial proof of concept.